Wish Waster 1984 is what happens when directors and writers are selected by identity and not by merit. I'd rather watch Gal Gadot fold laundry for 2.5 hours than subject myself to this movie which isn't even worth pirating, let alone paying to watch it. It's a glorified Christmas rom-com disguised as a superhero movie. Basically, the Mandalorian went mad after giving up Baby Yoda to Luke Skywalker. Okay, look, joking aside, let's get down and dirty here, boys. The story was something shocking. The plot of the movie actually reminded me of Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. The plot for 1984 is essentially Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3 combined together, but just replaced the weird goo symbiote with the wishing rock. Anyway, this movie has no real stakes, no real consequences, no real lessons learned, and of course a waste of good characters that could have been used way more effectively by a director who's way more experienced. This film is being built up forever, with the big payoff being Wonder Woman sitting crumpled in a corner muttering to herself like a decrepit old woman with dementia. I was just confused the entire time watching. None of the villains had any motivations until the last 30 minutes. And speaking of bad guys, why didn't the villain just have someone wish for Wonder Woman to die? That would have easily saved him all the hassle and would have saved my time watching this trash. Anyway, the plot was rushed in other ways too, like them discovering the key to saving the world. It's set up and then paid off within 5 minutes. They're just armed with the knowledge due to one reading of a single book that was found because of research that happened off screen. One of the other elements that felt rushed to me was the degradation of Maxwell Lord due to using his wish powers in only a few short scenes. Early in Act 2, he goes from a giddy and drunk with all his newfound powers to basically a Gollum-type character that is bleeding from his orifices and is hysterical due to his mental and physical decay. That happens so fast, you're just left confused at first until your brain finally catches up, because that connective tissue is really supposed to sell that turn, and that informs us, the audience, of his final motivation for his quote final plan. And that is not given enough time to work in the movie, which is insane to me. Bruce Wayne be around at this point. I mean, if this is after his parents died, then he would have 100% wished for them back and 100% not renounced that wish. I'm pretty sure that Superman would have wished Kevin Costner back. But the second that I saw Pedro Pascal dressed as Trump in the trailers, my interest slowly started to dissipate. And just like my interest for Aquaman 2 is gone because Amber the C-word heard is in that movie. But Wonder Woman 1984 isn't so awful it's unwatchable like The Rise of Skywalker. But it's obviously nowhere near the first Wonder Woman. The No Man's Land scene from the first movie is better than this entire film. But how bad can a movie be that such a shill site like Rotten Tomatoes won't stand by it? The Ignorant Gamers Network, IGN, gave Wonder Woman 84 an 8, by the way. Such integrity. These critics, if you can even call them that, were paid to promote the propaganda. They knew that their reputations would be on the line after people actually saw this movie. You know that Hollywood will learn nothing from this and continue to shit out woke garbage. This movie being woke is the least of its problems, but I feel like portraying all the men in the movie as evil or malicious would kind of pass as woke in my opinion. Normal people watching this movie are like, oh, it's a little too woke, and the crazy people are like, oh, it's not woke enough. I'm pretty sure though that men are gonna get blamed for when this movie inevitably tanks. Anyway, the most expensive movie ever made was written by a 3rd grader, and now that 3rd grader has the keys to Star Wars. And you know what that means? We have another Mary Sue on the way. Yay! And on that bombshell, thank you all for watching. Manix out.